The evening started like a dream. Her first company party at the new firm. She looked stunning in the dress I'd bought her just a month ago. She twirled in front of the mirror, flashing that confident smile I'd once fallen in love with. "Big night," I said, smiling back. "I'm proud of you." She kissed me lightly and said, "Just don't embarrass me, okay?" It was meant as a joke, but the words lingered in my mind. I brushed them off, telling myself she was just nervous. I had no idea that by the end of the night, that same woman would make me question everything I thought I knew about our marriage. The party was held in a luxurious downtown hotel in Charlotte, filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and music that hummed beneath the buzz of conversation. I stayed close to her side at first, proud to watch her colleagues compliment her work. Then came him, the boss she'd mentioned one too many times in her stories. Tall, confident, charming in that polished corporate way. The moment he arrived, her entire demeanor changed. Her laughter grew louder, her eyes brighter, her posture a little more deliberate. I watched her touch his arm when she spoke, lean in too close when he joked. Each gesture chipped away at the illusion that this was just innocent fun. Still, I stayed calm. That's who I am, the calm one. I've always believed people reveal who they truly are when you stop trying to control them. So I didn't make a scene. I didn't pull her aside. I just watched as she danced near him, as their conversations stretched on, as her hand brushed his shoulder like she'd forgotten I existed. Every part of me wanted to believe she was just caught up in the moment. But deep down, something inside me started to die. At one point, he handed her a drink, champagne, golden and bubbling. She laughed, raising her glass to his. "To new beginnings," she said. He smirked. "To new connections." My chest tightened. That's when I stood up, walked over, and placed my hand gently on her shoulder. She turned, startled, the color draining from her face for a brief moment before she recovered with a forced laugh. "Honey," she said nervously, "we were just talking." I smiled, not the kind that hides pain, but the kind that cuts through pretense. "Are you forgetting something?" I asked softly, my tone calm but my eyes steady. The smile she'd been flashing all night faded instantly. The boss glanced between us, sensed the tension, and awkwardly excused himself. The room, filled with chatter moments ago, seemed to go quiet in my head. My wife opened her mouth as if to respond, but no words came out. It wasn't about what she'd done. It was about how effortlessly she erased me from her world the second someone else's attention landed on her. The rest of the night passed in a blur. She tried to act normal, laughing too loud, clinging to small talk with other colleagues. But the spark was gone. I didn't confront her again. I didn't need to. Sometimes silence does the work words never can. On the drive home, she finally broke the silence. "You made that awkward," she said quietly, as if I had embarrassed her. I glanced at her reflection in the window, seeing not the woman I married, but someone who craved validation from anyone but me. "No," I said, keeping my voice steady. "You did." When we got home, she went straight to the bedroom, slamming the door behind her. I sat on the couch, staring at the remnants of what used to be trust. My mind replayed the way she'd looked at him, the way she used to look at me. It wasn't the flirting that broke me. It was the realization that I'd become invisible to the person I once meant everything to. She came out an hour later, makeup washed off, eyes red. "I didn't mean anything by it," she whispered. I nodded, but the damage had already been done. The following week, she became overly attentive, cooking dinners, leaving sweet notes, pretending nothing had happened. But love built on guilt isn't love. It's performance. Every time her phone buzzed, I wondered if it was him. Every time she smiled, I wondered if it was real. The party had exposed something irreversible, the gap between who we were and who we'd become. One evening, I found her sitting on the couch, scrolling through her photos from the party. There was one where she stood beside him, glowing. She didn't even notice me behind her. "You still looking at the pictures?" I asked quietly. She jumped, locking the screen instantly. I smiled faintly. "Keep them," I said. "They'll remind you what you lost when you forgot who was standing beside you." I walked away before she could respond. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come in the form of an affair or a confession. Sometimes it comes disguised as a laugh, a glance, or a moment when someone stops treating you like you matter. That night, I didn't lose my temper. I didn't shout or accuse. I simply saw the truth. And the truth has a way of silencing everything else. Her smile vanished that night, but so did my blindness. And once you finally see things clearly, you can never go back to pretending.